When name brand laptops like Dell, Compaq, Gateway, HP, when they are too expensive, there's always Notebook. I mean, the manufacturer's name is a joke all by itself. The rest of the machine is actually the pun. I don't know. It's just a piece of crap. This is a very inexpensively built laptop. I'm going to say from around 2002, maybe 2003. It's in pretty rough shape. It's not terrible. It's in one piece, but you've got cracked hinges on both sides. Overall crappiness. It's missing 2 feet. 2 of the feet are missing. It was manufactured by Cleo. They're an OEM. They make laptops for other companies. I believe they make private label laptops. For example, if I had my own little computer store, BBISHOPPCM computers, I could buy laptops from this manufacturer customized to my specs with my logo on them, and then I would resell them as BBISHOPPCM laptops in my own brand name. But Cleo, they're an OEM. They don't normally sell under their own brand name. And these were inexpensive laptops for a time period when there was a real market for them. I don't see a lot of these anymore, outside of trade shows maybe, or flea markets. They didn't really last that long either, so there's not a lot left. But for what it is, it's pretty well featured. I mean, it has a built-in FireWire port, infrared, wireless. It's got all your legacy ports, parallel serial, modem, Ethernet, PS2, S video, 3 USB ports, and a VGA out port. So for what it is, I mean, it's typical Chinese, well-featured, poorly built piece of crap. But it's really flimsy and flexible and just crappy. I mean, look at I can't express how cheap this laptop feels. It's obviously designed to look a little bit like the HP Pavilions of the time period. Actually, when I first saw it, I thought it was a Toshiba. It looks like a Toshiba from this angle, but like an HP from this side. And scrolling buttons. This is similar to I believe it was a Satec or it was some off-brand laptop that I almost bought when I was in high school. Brand new. It was like $1,200, which was dirt cheap in 2002. That's probably about how much this thing sold for. But it's got a lot of wear and tear on the wrist pad. This is a painted plastic wrist pad, so just a recipe for disaster. You've got a keyboard that is translucent, much like the Macintosh PowerBook keyboards of the time period, which is pretty cool. I mean, it's not all bad. I don't know if it works, but we're going to find out right now. I haven't really plugged it in. The power supply that came with it was burned out, so I had to take one of my extras. I have a ton of them. And just a 19-volt power supply that I'm using. Let's see if it works. We got displays coming up. Didn't quite get that. OS not found. The hard drive has been cleaned, wiped away. Smart people. Possibly removed. It could possibly not have a hard drive on it, so I doubt that, though. Let's see what the specs are. Pull up the menu here. So it looks like we've got 512 megabytes of RAM. Let's see. Hard drive has been removed. There is no hard drive in this laptop, just as I thought. Or if it has one, it's dead. It does have an optical drive installed, though, so, you know, hooray for that. Looks like a 24x DVD-ROM, CDRW, so holy crap, that's pretty cool. Yeah, there is no hard drive here. What does it have for... Alright. I wonder what it has for processor. Oh. Here we go. Pentium 4 2.8. That's not terrible, actually. I can do something with this. I actually, I think I know what I'm going to do with this laptop. I'm going to put a hard drive in it and give it to my cousin. If I can find drivers for it, I could, this would be a perfect machine for my little cousin who needs a laptop. I mean, it's a piece of crap, so it's not like he's going to damage it any worse than it already is. So, that's actually a pretty good find. 2.8 Pentium 4, that's, you know, that'll run Windows XP. See if the battery takes a charge. I'll leave it plugged in overnight. It's got double latches, by the way. And it had this installed, a 802.11g older style D-Link wireless card. These are always good to have around, even if they're only G speeds. You know, it's really not too bad. I'll do something with it. See if the hard drive caddy is still there. Pop it open. I might even have some scrap memory. I can bump it up a little bit, put some more RAM into it. The unfortunate part of of owning a laptop like this one is sometimes drivers can be nearly impossible to find. A lot of times they're going to use lower end, off-brand componentry. But generally, these low-end parts will have drivers built into Windows in some cases. Well, this is quite unfortunate. The drive caddy is missing completely. So I would have to come up with a right-angle adapter, basically a 2.5-inch notebook drive cable. Oh my God, I've never got that on camera before. Kermit was just croaking, as frogs do. Hey buddy, heard you. Got you on camera. That's what they sound like when they croak, or their mating calls. That's pretty cool. I've never gotten that on camera. He'll do it randomly, and it's hard to tell when you're going to hear it. Sometimes I hear it at night. Even upstairs I can hear it. It's pretty amazing. But anyway, sorry for that. So the hard drive caddy is missing. And, I mean, I could probably make this work, but I'd have to come up with the right cable to do it. What's under this cover? I mean, as far as using it for parts, there's really nothing in this that I could actually use anywhere. Besides, I've got this Dell sitting right here that's probably ripe for the picking. Here's our CMOS battery. And this is where the optional wireless card would go. This is an antenna wire. So it looks like it doesn't have a wireless card, but it has provisions for it. And the ribbon cable would be right here. That would connect right there. So this doesn't have wireless integrated. What normally differentiates a low-end laptop like this one from a name brand one, like a Dell or an HP, is the quality or lack thereof quality in the plastic materials. This is a rather unusual lithium-ion battery pack, easily rebuilt. That's pretty cool. I've never seen that before on a laptop, on a production laptop anyway. So that's where the battery is. The plastic on these cheaper laptops is usually just budget grade ABS plastic. It was made in 2004, according to that production stamp. So, 2004. It's old, but it's not ancient. Not as old as I thought it was. But yeah, a laptop like this would have been more than likely would have been a custom build. You go to a local computer vendor, they order it for you, they give you what you want, and they bundle it like they would an HP or a Dell or whatever. But they do it in-house. I know there was a couple of vendors near my area that sold private label laptops, and they were basically Nantans, Cleos, Quantas, whatever they can get their hands on at a low price. And that's what they would sell. There's nothing in these. Oh, okay, good. So this is cheap. They mounted the cooling fan to the cover, and that's just a cheapy little fan right there. That's very low quality. Very, very low quality right there. CPUs right here. Just a desktop Pentium 4, which could be upgraded, probably to a 3 gigahertz. Here's another antenna wire here. Kind of makes me wonder why it's there. Interesting. Why would there be another? Why would the antenna wire be here and not here? Either way. Unless it had a Bluetooth option, which is entirely possible. I could look at the keyboard and see if there's a Bluetooth key. Memory slots here. Let's see what kind of memory she takes. Being a 2.8 Pentium 4, this would be a prime candidate for a Linux machine. 512 meg PC2700, and this is Samsung RAM. There are 2 slots, so I could easily bump this to a gig with what I've got in on-hand parts. It's a very unusual laptop. I mean, it's cheap, very cheaply made. I mean, they didn't go for the desktop or the laptop version of the Pentium 4, and instead they used a full-size desktop P4 chip, socketed, which could be upgraded at the drop of a pin, or drop of a hat. Very, very nice. I like that. But the rest of it's kind of mediocre crap. Unfortunately, the hinges are so far gone. I don't know if I would waste too much time with it. If I could put a drive in this thing right now, and instead of making my own cables, which I could do, but I'm not going to do that, then I would probably do something with it. But I think for now I'm going to just junk it. It's really not worth my time. And being a non-name brand machine, trying to find drivers for some of this stuff is going to be a nightmare and a half. Battery's not leaking, that I can tell. That's a good sign. But hey, what the hell, right? Maybe I'll put a live CD in it and turn it into a digital picture frame or something. I don't know. It'd be one hot picture frame though, with that kind of a CPU in there. Jesus. Let's pull this out. Looks like we just undo these screws here. Probably like a fake Intel processor, you know. Some kind of a Chinese Intel off-brand. I think they're actually doing that now in some cases. Oh man, that's tight. I have a... yeah, I do. There we go. These are, by the way, these are spring-loaded, for those of you who don't know. They're spring-loaded to keep tension between the heatsink and the processor. That's what they're there for. So, yeah. That comes out like that. Clogged fan. And, let's see. You know, that grease. Pentium 2.8. Yep, that's what it is. Pentium 4 2.8. It's not a cheap Celeron, or could be overclocked. Let's see how long it runs without a heatsink. See what happens. I actually had a Dell overheat on me one time. I was working on it for a customer. It was an old piece of junk Dell desktop, and I forgot to put the fan shroud on. But the fan was running. I mean, it had airflow. Things started locking up on me randomly. Sure enough, sucker was overheating. It was getting hot too. Okay, we haven't frozen yet, so it's calling for air now. Look at that. So it senses that there's something amiss, and it's calling for air. But come on. Oh, I think it shut itself down. Yeah, it's protection mode. It's shutting itself off. Doesn't like that. Nope. It is mad at me. Let's see how hot that chip is. Whoa! Wow! That didn't take long. That escalated quickly. That chip is roasting. So, I guess you can't fight City Hall. Whatever that means in this context. But anyway, yeah, I didn't like that. Didn't like that one bit. Yeah. 10/11/04. That's when it was probably shipped off. Cleo. Let's see who Cleo. Okay, so from the looks of it, Cleo is definitely linked to Sager. But that's all I can find so far.